back to my channel. Today we are cooking, but before we get started, as always, thank you to my returning subscribers and welcome to my new ones. So I always go to the Jamaican food restaurant. Back in New York, I had a specific one that I used to go to. Where I'm at now, there's one that's kind of okay. It's kind of like hit or miss. Sometimes the food will be all right. Sometimes it'll be like kind of like, I don't know if they're changing the recipe. I don't know if it's a different cook in the kitchen. But anyway, I was like, you know what? I can make this at home, right? So whenever I go, because I don't eat red meat and I don't eat pork, there's only two things that I get. And obviously they're both chicken, but it's just two different dishes. I'll either get the curry chicken or I get the brown stew chicken. Always peas and rice because that's what you're supposed to do. And then I'll get, you know, cabbage. I'll get plantains. What else? Maybe some other type of vegetable. It just depends. Maybe potato salad, whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna make it today. I want to make this. So I went online and I looked up a recipe for it, and it says the best Jamaican, you know, brown stew chicken recipe you can find. So we're gonna see. We're gonna put that to the test because I'm very specific in what I like to eat. So this is my first time making it. I'm gonna follow their recipe to a T. Now, when I cook, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a measure girl. Like, I don't measure. I learned how to cook, you know, from like the old school. So we just season to taste. We taste it while we're cooking because that's what you do. If you're not tasting your food while you're cooking, then you're not really a cook. So I don't know, but you got to do that because you need to know how your flavor is. If you got to add more of this or take out that, whatever the case. But for this recipe here, because it is a recipe and I never did it before, I'm going to follow theirs to a T. The only thing that I am missing, and this is going to make or break it for me, I mean, it may not in theory, but I feel like it is. I need a scotch bonnet. So I went to Publix. Was it Publix? Oh, and don't mind my hair. I got to film that video right after this. I went to Publix yesterday, and yeah, I got everything else that I needed. They did not have any scotch bonnets. If you're unfamiliar with a scotch bonnet, that's all it is a very spicy, it's a spicy pepper. That's all it is. So for this recipe, they call for one, but you don't cut it because then that's gonna like kill you. Scotch bonnets are extremely, extremely hot. If you don't like hot foods, I wouldn't even suggest using it. But this recipe says leave it whole and just put it in. It's just for the seasoning. But Publix does not have any. So of course I went to my best friend Google and I was like, scotch bonnets near me. And it pulled up Walmart, of all places, Walmart. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the marinade, just because I want to at least get it going. If I don't have the scotch bonnet, then I just don't have it. I'm gonna miss that kick. But hopefully I can find it. I may have to go to a few other stores. But anyway, I want to just go ahead and get started with the marinade. Right now it's 1:07. I was actually supposed to do this last night. The recipe says you can marinate for 1 to 2 hours, but it's best overnight. Just to, you know, really get that flavor in there and let it marinate, right? So I'm putting it in now like around 1 o'clock. I'm not going to actually start cooking it probably till like, I don't know, like 6 or whatever. So at least it gets to marinate for like a good 5 hours. Hopefully that should be good enough. That's it. Enough talking. Let's go ahead and get into it because like I said, I got to go wash my hair so I can film that video. The car video is still coming. I promise you with my new work schedule and with the weather, it's like I have not had time to do it because I want to wash the car in the video and then I also want to show you my accessories, but I might just split it up and just show you the car just to hurry up and show it to you because people keep asking me, and then wash it in that video, like all of that, and then we'll do a separate video with like me decorating it with all like the cute stuff and whatever. I have a few things on there already, but there's some specific things that I want, and I haven't gotten them from Amazon yet. So that's really what the holdup is for those who are interested and are waiting and are asking me. I apologize. I'm not trying to be funny. It's just like I'm trying to show it in a specific way to you guys. But anyway, we'll get there when we get there. I promise. You may or may not see me too much in the video because it's really about the food. It's not about your girl. All right. So my chicken has already been cleaned. The reason why I cleaned it off camera is because I actually was not going to film this. But I decided at the last minute, let's do it. The recipe called for chicken legs and chicken thighs. So I left, the chicken thighs have a lot of fat on it. I typically don't eat thighs at all. I prefer legs and breast. And I may do occasional wings because Aaliyah likes wings, but I really could care less, you know. So anyway, the thighs have like a lot of fat on it. I took some of it off, but I also left some of it on because the thighs are also the juiciest part of the chicken from what I understand. And the fat is just more seasoning. So, but it's your preference. If you want to take all the fat off and make it completely lean, go for it. So it was like use 8 or 9 pieces. I don't know how many's in here, but probably around that much. So just legs and thighs, that's all I have in here. We needed onion. I already cut up the onion. I'm getting ready to use my machine to chop it up. This machine is probably on its last leg. I had it for so many years, and there's a lot of pieces that's missing. This is really, well, you can't see it, but there's only one piece that I have right now that for the cutting purposes. This is the only one. Like the attachment, they come with different sizes. I don't know if y'all can see that. But you see, these squares are kind of big, but it'll still chop it. If you've never used one of these before, please be careful, because this is essentially it's knives. Like, it will cut you, because it cut me when I first got it. But I had like 3 or 4 attachments, so I'm going to have to go to my good friend Jeff Bezos and order another one so that I can get some new attachments on here, because I guess I lost some of the stuff when I was moving, which is wild to me, because like I don't know. Anyway, the only reason I'm using it is because I don't feel like using my hands today. I just, you know, to cut up the onions. I don't feel like smelling like onions all day. But normally I do. Anyway, says we need bay leaves, we need a bell pepper, scallions, green onions, I'm not sure what y'all call them, whatever. Garlic, you can use whole garlic, minced garlic, or garlic paste. We need ginger. It said Jamaican ginger, but you know, that's kind of hard to find like where I am, so I just got the regular ginger, and hopefully that'll work. We got some regular pepper, we got some regular salt, smoked paprika. They have regular paprika and they have smoked paprika. There is a difference. Regular paprika, to me, and from what it has no flavor. Paprika is just used for like color, right? When you're doing potato salad or when you're doing macaroni and cheese, it's just used for color to make it look pretty. Smoked paprika, on the other hand, is going to have a smoky taste. That's the reason why it's called smoked. So it's a pungent flavor, okay? So be careful with the seasoning on that. And then we needed some ground allspice. Yeah, so I got this right here. Oh, and then also, sorry, chicken stock. I usually use this when I'm making my cabbage, but the recipe calls for chicken stock. They were on sale, buy one, get one free, so you know your girl got a second one. Brown sugar. I keep this on hand all the time. I don't really use too much sugar, but on certain foods, I put sugar in just to, you know, kind of jazz it up. Like for my baked beans, for instance, I put brown sugar in my baked beans. I make really good baked beans. I may show you how to do that one day, how I do it anyway. And then it says we need some tomato sauce. We got tomato sauce. Make sure you get tomato sauce, not tomato paste. That's 2 different things. The sauce is going to be loose and runny, right? Tomato paste is just as it sounds. It's a lot thicker. And then also, you know, I'm doing same thing. I'm doing red beans and rice. So I'm using the kidney beans. That's the ones I want to use. They have black beans. If you want to use black beans, go ahead. I wanted to use kidney beans, so that's what I'm going to use. I believe I already have rice. I should. Yes. I have some rice left. I don't know if this is going to be enough. I may have to go get some more when I get the scotch bonnet. But I got my rice right here, just regular white rice. Recipe said you can use coconut rice. I'm not really a true fan of coconut rice, but I don't know. I may dabble some in there because I do have some of Aaliyah. She likes coconut rice, so I may put some of that in there. And then that's basically it. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to prep it so that I can go ahead and get this chicken marinated so I can go do what I got to do with the rest of my life. Okay? This is hopefully what it's supposed to look like. Can y'all see that? I don't know. I might be able to see that. But y'all know what brown stew chicken looks like at the Jamaican place. If you eat, you know, that kind of stuff. I definitely do. And also you need some thyme. Some fresh thyme. Right? This is supposed to be refrigerated. For those who don't know, stays in the refrigerator. Okay? So the first one is we're going to do the onion. It says yellow onion. There's different types of onions. But it said yellow onion. So you just put this in here. You put it right on top. Move y'all a little closer so you can see it. You just put it right on top like this. And then you see, even this part is missing. Like the whole thing. I'm low-key like 2 seconds away from chopping it myself. I don't feel like it. But anyway, you put this down and you're supposed to push it. And it barely went because the stupid piece is missing. But we're going to improvise. We're going to do it this way. Now, once these pieces are chopped up, like through the machine, I'm going to go in and I'm going to just do a better chop on it. Like a, you know what I'm saying? This is just to get it like a rough chop. I'm going to take this off. Be careful. These are knives on here, people. You will cut yourself. And then you say that I did it, and I did not. Did not. Another one. Chop it. It does make a loud sound depending on how big of an item it is that you're chopping. Do not be alarmed. That is the way it's supposed to sound. Now see, that was a clean chop because you see there's nothing left in there. Right? So we take the lid off and we're probably going to trash this today. Like I said, I need a new one. So that's how much it gave me from that chopped onion. I'm going to go ahead and chop it up a little bit more just to make them a little smaller because I feel like that's a little too big. So put them out on your cooking board, put them out on, you know, whatever you want. Ugh. And I hate the way, you know, onions make my eyes water. There is a trick for that. You know, you can rinse the onion in cold water. For those who didn't know. Ugh. All right, but we're just doing a fine chop. Just a little bit more. And yes, it's gonna get on my hands a little bit, but it won't be quite as much because this is just a, you know, a rough chop. Woo! Funny story, when I usually chop up onions, I wear sunglasses. Because the cold water doesn't seem to work for me. Even, you know, like, even though it says it's supposed to, it don't. Not for me. So I put on sunglasses and I'm good. All right, so that's as much as I'm gonna chop it up. That's fine. Let me go wash my hands real quick. The faster I wash my hands, the less likely it is to stay on there. We're gonna do the bell pepper next. Let's go wash it off. Cut it just like this because we want to get that that center out. You don't want this. Well, I mean, maybe you do. I don't know. I'm not using it. So we're going to take all of that. We're going to strip it down. You can rinse the seeds off. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. Alright, let me rinse all the seeds. And just, you know, it doesn't have to be super, super small. The reason behind that is because, you know, it's a marinade. And they're going to melt down anyway. Not melt down, but they're going to cook down. You know, and they're going to get softer if you've never eaten peppers before. I don't cook on Friday and Saturday though. I cook Monday through Thursday and that's it. Friday and Saturday we're not doing none of that. No, I'm sorry. Monday through Thursday and I cook on Sundays. Obviously, today is Sunday. So, okay. Oh, I forgot one of the most important ingredients. One of the most important ingredients. You will need browning sauce. Okay, there's different brands. Get which one you know. This is the one that I could find. I had this already in my cabinet. Browning sauce is exactly what it is. This is what makes the sauce turn brown. Okay, it does have a little salty taste to it, just a little bit, but you can also use these to make gravies. This is what browning sauce looks like. We're gonna add the bell pepper and onions. Trying to get these angles for y'all. Bell pepper and onions. Just adding this in. I'm doing it slowly so I don't drop food all over the place. And of course I just dropped a piece. Now, if you want to marinate this in a bowl, you can. I am just a, how do you call it? I'm a germaphobe or whatever. So I don't like raw meat to touch any of my dishes that I normally eat or out of. So I'm going to cook all my stuff, or not cook it, but I'm going to prep it in either a Ziploc bag like this, or I'm going to use a paper plate. Something that I could throw away. I know you wash the dishes, you sterilize, you do all of that good stuff, but to me it's a mental thing. It's just like, ugh, you still have raw everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with that. I'm not that girl. I'm definitely not that girl. Next, we need to use some of the brown sugar. Oh, I gotta cut up the scallions too. Let me do that first before I forget it. Cut up the scallion. Ugh. How many scallions did it say to use? This is so much easier. Oh, 4 scallions. Okay. Let me go ahead and wash these off. This is how they come. You want to cut this part off right here. These are the roots. You don't need that. So you just cut that off. Move y'all back so y'all can see. Ugh. All right. So for this, you can just cut them all together, all at once. All right. I cut them not all the way up, but I cut them like enough. You know what I'm saying? Because there's still flavor in here, in this part. If you want to use the whole thing, you can use the whole thing too. It really don't matter. That's how far I'm gonna go up. We'll leave that there. Okay. And we're gonna put this in with the chicken. Make sure you don't put the pieces in the end pieces that you cut off. Okay, now we can go on with the black sugar. God, my eyes are still burning. It's freaking onion. Whew. I think I'm gonna have to go get my sunglasses here because it's hurting. Ugh. And I can't cook if I can't see. Okay, I probably should have did that first. Boy, when I tell y'all my eyes are burning. Now we can go on with the brown sugar. All right, so I got my brown sugar here, and we're supposed to use 1 tablespoon. So I have my measuring spoons right here. It's simple, right? Where's my 1 tablespoon? The purple one. Okay, this is it. This is all it says that you need for the brown sugar. We do a little extra because, you know, and whatever. Boom, toss it in. Go back. We're gonna do the paprika, allspice, ginger, salt, and pepper. Paprika. How much of the paprika? 1 teaspoon. Make sure you're reading these instructions very carefully. If it says teaspoon, make sure you're using a teaspoon. Do not confuse the two. The purple is a tablespoon. The orange is a teaspoon. You see the difference? Okay. 1 teaspoon. You shake it off the top, or you could do this. You know what I'm saying? You could skim it. You do it like that. If you want to be exact. Boom. She's in there. She's in there. Oh, actually, I can leave that off. All right, so a 1/2 teaspoon now. And if you guys want to follow the recipe, I'll go ahead and link it in the bottom. I'll put it in the bottom for you. 1/2 teaspoon. The oh, y'all can't see it. There it is. The blue. 1/2 teaspoon of the ginger. Go ahead and measure it off. Bang. You need the allspice now. All right? This is the next step. Doing the allspice. A 1/2 teaspoon again. 1/2 teaspoon. You can just shake that off. Bam. So, because they said to taste, and if you've never made something before, you always want to start out small because you can do what? You can always add more, but you can't take it away. And I don't want to have to sit here and dilute. So I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of both salt and pepper. While it's cooking, remember I talked about tasting. We're going to go back and we're going to start tasting the sauce while it's cooking. If I need to add more then I can add more. But for now, we're going to go on with just a 1/2 teaspoon of each. Because some of the stuff in here is already salty and some of the stuff in here is already spicy. That's the reason why they said salt and pepper to taste, because you don't want your dish to be overly salty and you definitely don't want it to be overly spicy to where you can't eat it. Now, I am a fan of spicy food, 100%. I'm going to let you know that right now. However, I don't like stuff crazy spicy to where I can't taste it because then it becomes disgusting. That's not what we're trying to do. We're just going to mix all of that seasoning into the chicken. Get it all in there. We want to cover every area. Flip it. Get to know the chicken. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. Okay, Mr. Bird, how you doing? I have a turkey. Every Thanksgiving and every Christmas, my turkey, his name is Tom. My mom will tell you. I call him Tom the turkey. And so she'll always call me, and she was like, how is Tom doing? How is Tom doing? What's Tom doing? Everybody know that's my boy. You gotta talk to you gotta talk to your food. You gotta be nice to it. How you gonna try to cook it and you haven't even, like, you know what I'm saying, taking the first steps? Alright. Good, good, good. I'm starting to smell the stuff already. I smell more so of the allspice. That's the thing that's like hitting my nose first. We got 1. This is exactly what it looks like. It's a little thick and it's brown. 1. Ooh. 2. We're probably gonna have to mix this again, so I'm gonna go get another glove. And 3 teaspoons. Put this top back on because you don't want to knock this over. This stuff will stain. I don't have any more gloves. That was my last one. I have to get me some more today when I go out to the store. So we'll just mix everything in there. Again, it's not that I'm scared of touching raw meat because obviously I do it when I'm, you know, cleaning it and all of that stuff. I just didn't feel like doing it. So I didn't feel like it getting all in my nails and everything, but it is what it is. Cooking is dirty. All right. You want to mix it in there. Want to get all of that brown sauce. You see how it's turning like the color of the chicken? It's making it darker. This is the chicken thigh right here. And then this is your leg right here. You can take the skin off. You can leave the skin on. I left the skin on only because it's always like that when I go in a Jamaican spot. But by all means, if you're not a skin person, you can take it off. When I'm making baked chicken for me and Aaliyah, I usually leave the skin on for her because she likes it, and then I take the skin off for me. I like it too, but sometimes, listen, your girl be hungry and I want to get straight to it. Then the next step after that, you just marinate the chicken, and it says, like I said before, this says 1 to 2 hours, but it was saying better overnight. So we're gonna get about 5-6 hours in. Just close everything up. If I can get this piece of onion down, there we go. All right, we're gonna close everything up. Squeeze that air out of there. All right, now you can sit it in the refrigerator just like this, by all means. 100% you can do that. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna put this in a foil container. Just because I know there's no holes in here, but you just never know. When you're doing raw meat, please remember this. When you're putting raw meat in your refrigerator with all your other foods, make sure that there's no holes in the bag. Make sure it's properly covered, because we're not trying to do cross-contamination, people. Like, people get sick off of this stuff. People die off of this stuff. We're not doing that. So, even though it's in here, I'm going to also put it into one of these. I use these things for everything. That's why it looks so beat up. It's just a little cheap aluminum foil pan. Bang. That's literally what I'm doing. That's it. Okay, I use these when I'm making like my baked potato. I use this thing for everything, right? It's not something that I actually put food in directly necessarily, unless it's a brand new one, if I'm making like mac and cheese, whatever the case. But for something like potatoes or just whatever, this is my buffer. So I'm making sure that it's not touching anything else. It's sealed tight. Okay, super tight. And we're just gonna stick this in the fridge. It's 137, so that took a lot longer, obviously, because I'm filming and I'm explaining, but normally that would have been like a quick 10 minutes and it would have been in the fridge. Okay, you see I had to put my glasses on. I told y'all, because it was killing my eyes. Now, another thing to remember is when you are putting raw meat in the refrigerator, always put it on the bottom. You never want to take a chance on putting any type of raw meat, especially if it can drip. Just don't do it. Don't put it on the top shelf where it could drip on the rest of your food. Don't put it next to any fruit. Always put it on the bottom, okay? The bottom of the refrigerator, not in the drawers. That's not what I mean. I mean on that bottom shelf where there's nothing else underneath it. That's what I'm gonna do. So now we gotta clean all of this up. I mean, y'all really should be helping me. You understand what I'm saying? You watching, you let me cook all of this stuff up, but you're not helping me clean. I think that's kind of shady. You're supposed to be my friends, but it's okay. I'm gonna do it this time. But next time, like, I'm not playing that game. Like, you gotta help me. All right? It's funny. I'm cooking dinner and I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. Yesterday, I cooked a nice breakfast. I had my protein waffles. I had some eggs. I had hash browns. Better than Waffle House. I said it. I said what I said. But I haven't cooked yet. It's already 1:30. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. But your girl's, she's hungry. She's got to figure something out. All right, so now we're just putting everything back. Wherever it'll fit. Browning sauce I know is in here. My pepper. The allspice, my sesame. I don't think I had a spot for that, did I? With regard to the chicken stock, it doesn't actually have to be refrigerated right now because it's not open. Once you open it, then you have, like, depending on the brand or whatever it is, it's on the box. You have like 3 to 7 days to use, and then you got to toss it out. When I first started cooking years ago, I didn't know that, and I used to keep it in there and reuse it. I never got sick. I think a lot of the things that they tell us, like the precautions and the warnings on the packaging, I'm not gonna say it's false, but I feel like some of the stuff is maybe like, you don't have to do that. Like, you know, because, I mean, my grandparents was different. You know, my parents was different. Like, I'm not going to say we sat there and ate expired food, like, months. Nah, I'm not talking about that. But I'm saying, like, if you got a loaf of bread and the bread says it expires tomorrow and it looks perfectly fine and it smells perfectly fine, guess who's going to eat it? Me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a day or two won't kill you. I really feel like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times they have us wasting mad food. My grandfather used to show me that, like, literally with the bread, and that's why I said that. He was like, look at this. There's no mold on there. It's still soft. It's still fresh. It still smells like, you know what I'm saying? But so if it's like a day later, fine. Now, some things I wouldn't do that with, like, if, I don't know, like milk, for instance. I don't drink cow's milk because I'm not a cow, but cow's milk. I feel like that, if they say it expires on this day, I feel like it probably is, because it's already filled with a bunch of crap anyway. Pus and blood and all of that stuff. I'm not trying to gross y'all out or whatever, but it is, because look where it comes from. So, but anyway, so stuff like that I would, you know, get rid of. But be your own judge. Star is not saying go eat expired food by any means. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I do. But if it's like a day and you just missed the expo date, it's fine. What you should be checking is the expo date when you buy this stuff, especially if you're buying it from certain stores. You're not going to throw no stores under the bus, but I've definitely gone to certain stores and the stuff has already been expired. And I'm talking about not hood stores, some like good stores that you would expect, like crazy expensive. So you would expect it to be on point. And whatever. So that's done. We're going to let that marinate. I'm going to go ahead and clean up everything. I will come back when we start cooking it and we add in everything else. I need to start my hair. I need to start my hair. I got to fix me something to eat because I'm going to drop if I don't. I already know it. Something real quick. And then I need to wash this hair, because if I don't wash it today is Sunday, I'm not going to get to wash it until next weekend, and I don't want to go 2 weeks because you know my hair starts acting stupid. I'm sorry. Like, you know, after 2 weeks. So, and I just don't feel like dealing with it. I could just throw it up in a puff and just rock it out for another week and it'll look perfectly fine. But anyway, that's that. So yeah, I'm gonna come back when we're starting up the cooking process. Okay? All right, bye. Okay, we just made it in before it started raining. And I remembered the vegetable that I eat with the stewed chicken and the rice and beans. I don't know how I forgot this, but it's the cabbage. So I had to run back out to the store to get the stuff needed for the cabbage. Could not find the scotch bonnet. Remember I told y'all that they said it was in Walmart? Well, apparently they were all sold out. So the next closest thing that you can get to a scotch bonnet, if you can't find one, are habanero peppers. So I didn't need all of these, but of course they don't sell them by itself. So we're just gonna use one of these. And then the stuff that I got for the cabbage is obviously cabbage. I needed an onion instead of small onion. This is huge, so I'm gonna just half this and then use this. Some shredded carrots. You need a bell pepper. I think I had some vinegar already, but I just wanted to be on the safe side. You need some white vinegar. And then a little bit of sugar. Is this open? Yeah, I had to buy this because I don't put white sugar in really anything, so I didn't have any in the house. And that's it. When I tell you I'm tired, I'm tired because I filmed this and then I still got an edit, like whatever. It is what it is. All right, so let's get the chicken started. It's been marinating now for about 5.5 hours. I put it in like around 1:30. It's now 6:30, so that should be good. Oh. Definitely can smell it. The whole fridge smells like all of the seasonings. So it looks like it's been sitting nicely for a minute. Nicely, we about to have that sauce, girl. This is what the chicken looks like. Oh, there you go. That's what the chicken looks like in the pot. So we're just gonna sear that, like it said, for 2 to 3 minutes. And then I'm gonna take those out, set them aside, and then I'll put in the other 2 pieces. All right, while the chicken is doing what it needs to do, I'm gonna go ahead and get my cabbage going, because that's gotta cook down for a little bit. So let's take this off. I like to take off the first couple of layers. If you don't. This is just what I do. And then I'm gonna just cut it and then I'm gonna shred it up. All right. So obviously we're gonna wash it. And then when we're cutting it, we're gonna wash it again. And then you can just break it open like that. Cut that piece off. And then I just like to take off a few pieces at a time, and then I just rinse them off. If you have a different way that you clean your cabbage, great. That is terrific for you. Terrific. Now the easiest way that I shred it up, by all means, as I always say, if you know a different way, it's fabulous. You just stack a few pieces on top of each other and we're just gonna roll it. Let me bring the camera down so y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay. And you're just gonna roll it. Roll it how you would roll anything, right? And then you just cut it like that. And you cut it in like thin, you know what I'm saying, thin lines. And then if you look, the cabbage is shredded. And this is what you want. Now you can totally make it the regular way where you just kind of like, you know, break it apart a little bit, or you keep the lettuce whole like this, or keep the cabbage whole like this, because it's still going to cook down. It's still going to be nice and soft. But every time I go to the Jamaican restaurant, the cabbage is always shredded. I like it shredded that way. It does not change the taste, but that's just what it is. Boy, stop playing. It looks as good as it smells. Okay. Need about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, we got our vegetables ready to go. Got the green peppers, got the green onion, and then the regular onion. We're gonna let that cook for about 5 minutes until your vegetables get softened. Just mix it up so that everything can get coated with the oil. And let it sit. In the meantime, between time, let's go back and check on that chicken. So the chicken has been cooking about a little longer than 2 to 3 minutes on each side. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it off, just because you got to take it out and let it sit aside. Set. Back and pick it up because it's slippery. Let's set this aside. And then we're gonna put in the other 2 pieces. Alright. Throw the marinade away because unless I'm going to use it for another type of chicken, I'm not going to be using it for anything. I turned the flame down just a little bit just because I wanted to stop popping. I'm going to turn it back up once it kind of settles down a little bit. That's what those last 2 pieces are looking like. I'm going to give them like, you know, 3 to 4 minutes. Flip it over, another 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll follow back with the next steps. The vegetables are starting to sizzle a little bit, so that's good. That's the way we want it. They still have a little bit longer to go because obviously they're still hard. We want these soft. Another way that you can tell that they're kind of done is your onions will start to turn brown just a little bit. That's called, it's being caramelized. Alright, so they're starting to cook down. And they'll almost be, well, they will be. They'll be translucent, the onions. Alright, so we're just going to let that cook a little bit longer. And take a pause for the cause. Turn the flame back up. Well, I keep saying flame. I have an electric stove, not a gas stove. But I wish I had a gas stove. But we're gonna let this simmer. Now that it stopped popping, I can go ahead and turn the temperature back up to medium, so I can just get a little bit hotter. And then I'll come back when we're ready for the next step. This has been on for about 5 minutes. The recipe says to leave it on for 5 minutes and then it's gonna be completely done. But if you really know how to cook, you know that the peppers and stuff is not really gonna be done in 5 minutes. The onions, yes, because they're just thinner, but not the peppers. I kind of put them back in. I know the pot looks crowded, but because the other chicken kind of like cooked down a little bit, it's alright. But you see how like some of these pieces in here were like more seared than the other ones. That's why I wanted to put the other ones back in there, because I wanted them to all kind of cook the same at the same time. So I'm gonna let that cook a little bit more, then I'm gonna flip them back over so that they can see some more. Alright, the vegetables are ready for the next step. We gotta add one of the scotch bonnets, and we're gonna put some thyme in there, and a little bit of salt. We got this. We're just going to grab one of these little bad boys. Again, keep them whole. Do not cut them open because these peppers are very spicy. Even though this is a habanero pepper, also spicy. Very, very, very spicy. But if you love spicy, then hey, go for it. But the recipe said not to cut them, keep them whole. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to just wash this off. Then we're going to get some of the sprigs of thyme. And then add the salt. Okay, if you never used thyme before, I'm just going to show you what it looks like. And you just put the whole thing in there. It really just looks like a weed. That's all it is, like a weed in your garden. You put your thyme in, and you just throw your scotch bonnet in, like just off the top. Because it has to get to the point where it does cook down. This is why I feel like we should have used a pot. Like a big pot, like how we have the meat in. but it said a skillet. Once it cooks, it'll be all right. Stack it. Boom. It's gonna cook down. Don't worry. Promise. All right, I got my pot. I got my cup of carrots. We're gonna cover everything and let it do what it do. All right, let's turn this chicken over. Ah, so slippery. That's a nice sear on there. Nice. That's what you're looking for. There we go. Much better. There we go. All right, everything has been cooking for a nice little minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the chicken out. And I'm glad I saved the rest of that marinade because you actually have to add it back into the chicken. You can take out all your chicken pieces. You can grab them. Come on. And it says to pour the marinade into the same pot. And then add the chicken right back on top. Sit it on top of all of the vegetables. Or the marinade, rather. One piece. There we go. Alright, now we're going to add the carrots, the tomato sauce, the thyme, bay leaf, scotch bonnet, and the chicken stock. When I went to the store, I could not find any whole carrots, so I just got these right here. I'm going to just cut these up, same thing. Adding in the carrots. One 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. Scotch bonnet, do not cut it. And then chicken stock. We need 3 cups of the chicken stock. Now, you can use water, but chicken stock just gives it more flavor. One. And this is where the stew part comes in at, because what you're doing is you're making the stew. 2. And then there's your 3rd cup. After that, it says reduce the heat to medium-low and cover the pot with a lid. This is the one we have. Medium-low, like that. And it says cook it for 1 to 1.5 hours until the meat is falling off the bone. That's what we want. I'm going to give it just a quick stir just to make sure everything is incorporated. Be gentle with the stirring because you don't want to break up everything. Oh, I forgot the bay leaves. I was about to say, where's the bay leaves at? Yeah. So this is what bay leaves look like. It literally looks like a leaf. This is it. This is a bay leaf, right? You cook with these, you do not eat these. It's just for seasoning. When your meal is done, remove the bay leaves and throw them in the garbage. All right? Throw them in the garbage. They're just for seasoning. That's it. Clean up my kitchen some more because it's giving me anxiety being like this. I mean, it's not really dirty. It's just, you know, stuff is all over the place. Let me move this back so I can get out a lid. Do I have a lid for this pot? Or is it only cabbage? Please tell me. I think this one came with a lid. It did. Yes. All right. That's the lid that came with that. So now, the lid is on there. We're going to let the chicken cook. That's what she looks like. Let's move back over here to the cabbage. Okay. Is it hot? A little bit. See how I told you it was going to cook down? And that's exactly what it did. Right? Everything cooked down. Got all your peppers, got everything in there. I'm not going all the way down to the bottom because I don't want to scratch it. These are metal. I don't want to scratch my pot up. I'm just doing a nice light stir just to stir everything up. Stirring the vinegar and the sugar. And I did have vinegar in the cabinet already, so that's good. Now I just got another one. Boom. 2 tablespoons of sugar. If you're diabetic, I mean, I don't know what to tell you on this one. Make a different type of recipe or just don't use the sugar. And just go ahead and stir everything. I'm gonna get another spoon. Spoons and paper towels. That's something that's just never gonna last in my house. It's not. And just like the bay leaves, when you're getting ready to serve it, take that scotch bonnet out. It needs to be removed. These dog pieces, they're not burnt. Please believe, they're not burnt. It's just the onions that got caramelized. That's all it is. So we'll see. I'm gonna leave it uncovered. It does not say that you're supposed to cover it back up. So I'm gonna leave it uncovered. And I'm gonna go clean everything up. Quick little update on the chicken. Woo! Do you understand the smell that's coming out right now? Oh, I tell you, boy. This is gonna be so good. I hate to break it to you. It's gonna be so good. So the time is 8:35 now. It's been cooking, I would say, for about an hour. I'm gonna give it like another 40 or so minutes, and then we should be good to go. The rice, I just had a thought. In order to do the rice and beans the traditional, West Indian way, you need coconut milk. And I forgot, because I intended to do rice and beans, but I was like, a part of me did, but then a part of me didn't. Let me turn this over so y'all can see me here. Was the camera crooked the whole time? I don't know. Yeah, you need the coconut milk. And like I said, I planned to do it, but then like a part of me was like, I don't know. But now that I definitely wanted to do it and I started cooking the rice, I'm looking at the recipe and I'm like, you don't have any coconut milk. And I'm definitely not going back out to the store. So don't come for me. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna use Aaliyah's rice. Only because her rice flavor is already coconut. Normally, no, I would not do this. But we gotta do what we gotta do. So I'm gonna still make the rice and not the rice. I'm gonna still make the beans the regular way that needs to be made. But I'm gonna use this, like I said, because it has the coconut flavor already mixed into it. And then hopefully it'll still come out the way that it needs to come out. I'm not a really big fan of this rice. Just because of the taste, to me, it tastes too coconutty, too sweet. Right? But it's almost 9 o'clock, like I said, and I'm tired. I'm editing a video right now, like a 40-minute video, and I'm trying to chop it down. Actually, no, it's a 50-minute video, and I'm trying to chop it down. So your girl is tired. The cabbage is already done. I have it just sitting in the Tupperware. That's done. So I'm just really waiting on the chicken. This, you toss this in a microwave for a minute. I will do a redo of how to make the traditional, you know what I'm saying, peas and rice, like with the real way with the coconut milk and all of that, but it won't be today. It definitely won't be today. I don't know. The next recipe that I'm gonna make is either gonna be potato salad or shrimp creole, because I actually wanted all 3 of those this weekend, but the way the weekend was set up, somebody took some of the hours away, so I didn't get a chance to do everything I wanted to do. But this recipe for sure, because I was like, all right, I need to be able to take lunch to work. This should last us at least 3 days, at least. And then I won't have to cook again until Wednesday, maybe Thursday. Fridays I don't cook anyway, so I should have a pretty easy week this week, thank God. But all right, I just want to give y'all a quick update on what the chicken is looking like. Let me go back to editing this video so I can have some time to relax. I know this is completely off topic. Still not drinking, but your girl wants some wine tonight. But I don't think I'm gonna get any. But I don't really crave it that much. I don't. Once in a blue, it'll just kind of like pop out and be like, yo, let me get a glass real quick. But this is probably the first time in maybe a week. I don't know. It could be because my boys won last night. You know what I'm saying? My Cowboys. I'm a Cowboys fan for anybody that's new here. And that's really it. Let me get back to editing this video. I'll come back when, when the chicken is done and we're ready to eat. Because I'm so hungry. I'm starving. I can't wait. When you're cooking something real good, you just can't wait to eat. That's what I'm going through right now. So anyway, I'll see y'all when I see y'all. All right, back with another update. I want to let y'all see what the chicken is doing. She's pretty much, I'm going to say almost done. Because you see how you got bits of chicken in there? You see how it's literally just falling off the bone? This is what you want. That's how you know that your chicken is good to go. Look at that. Look. Come on. Stop playing with me. right? She just falling. That's what we love, okay? Right now it is 9:17. I tasted one of the carrots. It's not hard anymore. It's not soft, but it's not hard. So once the carrots are like completely soft, then I can go ahead and take it out. I'm gonna remove my scotch bonnet over there. I'm gonna take out my 2 bay leaves, and I'm gonna take out my thyme. We're gonna go ahead and, you know, plate it up with the rice. I got the beans going in the back. I just kind of like seasoned the beans with a little bit of the same stuff that I seasoned the stew with. It was just like a real quick whatever. I'll do a more dedicated video, like I said, for the rice and for the beans. But for tonight, because it's like already dumb late, I just want to go ahead and get it going, because your girl is hungry and I want to sit down and I want to relax. I just finished editing the other video, so that is good. Now we just waiting on this to finish. Finally, after 37.5 long hours, dinner is done. Finished. We got the stewed chicken here. I got my cabbage. Got rice and beans. I like to put gravy over the rice because we're not doing dry rice. Leah, you know, she does not like the cabbage, so I gave her broccoli, stewed chicken, rice and beans, rice and peas, sorry. And that's it. I already tasted it while I was cooking it, so I know it tastes good. I'm very, very, very pleased by this. I can't wait to dig in. It's 10 o'clock. Well, not quite, but almost. It's close enough. So that's it. Thank you for spending this day with me in terms of cooking. We will be doing this again. When I decide on another recipe to cook, it'll probably be the real rice and peas like I said before. That's it. I'm about to eat. I'm about to relax for the rest of the night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see y'all in my next one. Up close. Look at this. Look how... Stop playing. Stop playing. It's so good. It's so soft. And I said before, I don't like thigh, but it's good. It's real good. So, here you go.